We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a human to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you.
No, what the fuck is going on there, sir? Mm-hmm. It was all right. It was okay week, I suppose. Not much new. Yeah, not much new to it. Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. God. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that should be all right. What do you have to be there so early for? Oh, right. You're not changing plays, are you? Mm. Right. Right. Uh-huh. As far as the playbook goes? Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, you never know. You never know about how the corner is getting torched out there. Uh, oh shit! You know that. You know that now.
Me? Nah. Mic check. All right, chat. Let me know if you can hear me now. All right. Well, hopefully that fixed it. It looks like it did.
We good?
Yeah, we good. So for those of you that missed it, we were just chatting about a little fifth grade football. All right, dude. You got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going?
I don't. That comes immediately to mind, and I damn sure didn't write any down. I'm trying to think if I had anything I was thinking about this week.
Yeah.
I don't think I was doing too much thinking this week.
Not too much thinking. Well, I don't
Mm-mm.
I don't know that I did any thinking either, but what I did do was watch that K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix.
I saw that.
Oh man, I tell you what, Sam was actually the one that was talking it up to me, and I got to admit, not my typical fare. However, dude, that soundtrack is catchy.
Yeah, I mean, it
It's gonna be a takedown.
wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'll put it
Oh,
that
you
way.
watched it as well.
Yeah, my brother wanted me to watch it,
Okay. I actually
and it.
thought the story was pretty solid. Like that's more what surprised me. I expected it to have some catchy music with K-pop in the title, but the story actually, I thought the story was pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of musicals either, so
Yeah, I could
for
see.
for it to be what it was,
Not something you turned off immediately.
right? No, I watched it,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think I really only watched it because Karma was there. But
Oh, okay. So you watched it with her.
yeah, it was all right. Like it was all right.
That's pretty much my attitude towards it. Like it was okay. Which is actually how I felt about the new season of or the new half a season of Wednesday because I watched that
Oh,
too.
yeah, I never watched the first one.
It's a decent show. This season at least so far because they only dropped like the first half of the season, which I actually kind of like it when Netflix does that and breaks it up. It just feels like so formulaic.
What you mean?
Just that like it almost feels like a procedural, like a Law and Order. Like,
Okay,
oh, there's something new that we're investigating. We're gonna go investigate it, and then da da da, plot thickens. Like,
all right.
so in that sense, I don't know, and I don't feel like they're giving Jenna Ortega, who, after seeing her in things like Miller's Girl and even Scream and other movies, like she's a
What's
good.
Miller's Girl?
Miller's Girl is basically like a summer winter romance thing. Basically a teacher who kind of falls for a student, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
but it's more in his head. And while she is definitely like egging it on, I don't think anything actually happens in it, but it makes him like question his life choices up until that point. It makes him feel guilty when really she's like trying to egg him on. Um, but generally speaking, I think it's a solid flick. I think that's an A24 one as well.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. So those two and the Scream stuff, like fine, Scream is Scream, but like I liked her in it. And so I just think she's a good, young actress and something different than, your Angelina Jolie, Scarlett Johansson, your ScarJos, your Angie Joes, and whatever else you were complaining about the other day. But yeah, I just thought it was okay. I mean, it's not definitely doesn't really capture the magic of the first season.
Yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't know.
yeah, I'm trying to think what else. If there's been anything else that I've watched recently. What about you? Anything you've been catching back up on or binging on, other than your usual standbys?
No, not as no, not really.
Okay.
I did see what was that on Netflix that I watched today actually. Christian Bale,
Hmm.
The Pale Blue Eye, I think it
Okay.
was.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, The Pale Blue Eye, I think it was called. It was all right. It was like an old school, like detective kind of
Okay.
movie
Like a
with,
detective noir kind of vibe.
right, with like a twist at the end. Well, I would say I don't know if that would be the right because it was kind of like villagey. It almost gave you like
Like
Jack
Jack
the
the
Ripper
Ripper.
kind of vibes,
Okay.
but it was all right. It wasn't bad. And the twist at the end was pretty they tried to M Night Shyamalan you.
Okay.
You knew they were going M Night Shyamalan you, but what I will say is good about it is once the original M Night Shyamalan hits, the movie's still like another half hour, so
Right.
there's still another
Another
little
little
twist
twist
to
to it.
it, kind of shit.
Gotcha. I think my favorite movie like that isn't even Shyamalan. It's Christopher Nolan actually with The Prestige. Man, I love that movie
Yeah, Prestige is all right,
with the two magicians and
and
Christian
he's
Bale.
cloning himself.
And that's kind of the thing at the end. Like you realize well, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen The Prestige.
That shit is decades old, bitch. You had your shot. Ain't no fucking spoiler. Ain't no spoiler if a movie's past 10 years old. You
Right.
just missed out.
And it's like that twist is I don't know. It was that one was not that it was surprising to me, but it was the way they handled it. Like Hugh Jackman just kept cloning himself and basically killing himself every night
Right.
to kind of atone for losing his wife or whatever. And Christian Bale looks like I think he did it once or didn't do it at all, and they were just twins all along. But the fact that like he chopped off his fingers on the one that didn't lose his fingers in the accident and shit like that, like the dedication to the craft, I appreciated. It's like the old school WWE or professional wrestlers that would stay in character when they were out in public.
All right.
There's something to be said for that level of performance.
Is that the that's a good question. I don't know what movie immediately comes to mind that would be
Like the twist as a twist or something.
uh-huh.
I mean, the one everybody talks about is the Sixth Sense, but that
Right.
one was. I think the problem for me on that one was I knew the twist going in the first time I saw it. So
Yeah, no, I didn't know it when the first time I saw it. I knew something funny was going on, but I didn't have that in my mind.
yeah, I think I also
I
saw the
can't
twist in the village coming too, that it was going to be present day and that they
I
were
hated that.
isolated.
I
Yeah.
hated that. I fucking hated that.
What about the happening where the plants are responsible?
I wasn't a fan of that one either.
Neither. Me either. The village I liked, but
I didn't hate it. I won't say I hated it, but I was not. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good one. I can't think of any really.
That surprised you in terms of like how they twisted it or did a twist
Yeah.
again. Is it because things get ruined for you before you see it? Or is it that you legit can't think of any? Like you're not surprised because you know it going in.
No, some of them are that. Some
Yeah.
of them are that I saw it, coming, and some of it is that I think I'm just blanking because I wasn't expecting
Back
the
to the
question.
question, right? You know what movie should have done it and didn't? And
What?
I know you're not a fan of his, but I Am Legend in the
No, I'm
book,
not.
in the book, like you realize that the zombies have their own social structure. Like they view him as like the rogue element, the way he views
Right.
them.
Right.
Because like he's basically coming in and kidnapping them and murdering them, and like the whole reason the one goes out in the sunlight is because that's his daughter that Will Smith just captured. And he's like, they've lost all form of, you know, self-preservation. They've completely lost their humanity, when really like that's the most human thing you can do is, put
Right.
yourself in danger to save your young one.
I don't know if that's a twist.
No, but I think it could have been. I think if they would have somehow illustrated that in the movie, that movie would have been even better. And I like that movie. So,
I mean, that's a dumb premise to me, at least.
all right.
Like, why are you why are you trying to humanize a virus? Like a rogue, it's a rogue virus. You know what I'm saying?
Rogue
Like it's
virus
a
that we created.
in the humanize, but that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, it did enough to change you.
Right.
It did enough to change you to where you look the same as everybody else. You look the same, you act the same, you move the same, but for some reason they still clung to a piece of their humanity that's weird.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's probably what the director was saying too. That's weird. Let's leave that out.
Let's leave that alone.
That's weird.
Oh man. Well, let's see what else we got. What happens first, World War III or Civil War?
Damn. Damn, straight into the classifieds, huh?
Or are we already in both?
Straight into the classifieds. This nigga
I mean, what
wastes
else
no
is there? What the
time.
fuck else is there to talk about?
This
Fucking
nigga wastes no time.
TV and movies have been meh lately. There hasn't been a new video game released in who knows how long, other than
No.
your like annual sports bullshit.
Yeah, they're coming. I'm waiting. I got 2 weeks.
Like I didn't even think about picking up Madden or college football.
I was gonna get Madden, of course, because this is probably the first time in a long time my team's been over 80. So, and that's how
welcome to the welcome to the life of a Bills fan for the first 25 years of Madden.
I don't
Minus
really
the
play
early
with my
90s,
team.
like the Sega Genesis era. That was the
I'm
last
not.
time the Bills were good prior to 2015.
Yeah, I'm not one of those random teams guy. I only play with my team and my team only. So this is the first year I can actually be competitive, even with the good team. So I might still get it. I don't know. I doubt it though. I'm more concerned with the basketball at the moment.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were referencing more than anything.
Uh-huh. But I don't know, to answer your question. I think we're currently in a race. I think we're in a foot race.
Yeah.
I think the government's ideas are to get that jumped off as soon as possible because people are,
Well, he's using DC as a test ground to see how effectively he could do it nationwide. Like clearly.
I mean, yeah, I would imagine that as well.
I mean, DC and LA are not accidents. Because if he can do it in those two cities, he can do it to the rest of the major cities in the U.S.
You think?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
I
L.A.
mean,
especially, but
why you
D.C.
say
is
that?
just more a matter of like who in the political sphere is going to stand up to him. That's what that's really designed to do. And the reason why LA is a prime target is because of the amount of diversity in LA. If he can subjugate LA, then he can subjugate any US city. If he can occupy Los Angeles and DC,
See,
he
I
can
don't know. I think some
occupy.
of that is hubris, right? Because
Oh, I think
everybody's
so too, because I think what you'll see is the second you step foot in a certain place, it's going to go wrong. The question
right.
but will red states stand up to him? Like, will they even want to? Or are they just going to fall in line because they'll be like, yeah, yeah, they'll be cheering them on while they're marching through the
Nah, I don't
streets?
think. I think certain places may, but I definitely don't see Texas going for anything like that. I definitely don't see like there's going to be a handful of places that you wouldn't assume that would
But
give you real problems.
Texas all voted for him.
But it doesn't have anything to do with what we voted for. You know, Texas has considered themselves their own country for as long as they've been in existence.
That's
I don't
fair.
give a fuck what you're implementing with the rest of the nation. You're not bringing that shit to Texas.
Yeah.
And then you think about the demographics of the people in both of those places. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't necessarily the militia states.
Right.
Nobody in DC is organized enough to be able to resist something like
You
that.
say that, and meanwhile, I've been selling my soul for a long day.
What's that mean?
Oliver Anthony, like that whole rebel shit, north of Richmond, like 6 hours away. Like,
But it doesn't matter. That's just a song. That's just a song, my nigga. You're it. You live in the city with the fucking devil, right? With the database,
I
with
hear you
the
on that. That's
with the
why.
organizations, the CIAs, they would be tracking uprise long
Well,
before it would ever take place there.
and that's why I think that the opportunity in DC is actually,
It's the safest play.
well, it's a safe play, but it's also, I think what he's trying to do is draw out who in the federal government will stand up to him to target them. That's what I think is actually the DC play.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think
Because
it's a win-win.
even the mayor of DC publicly is agreeing with him, but then behind the scenes, basically under protective custody, is suing him for his action.
Well, isn't that what those lab coats do in the first place?
Facts. I'm not arguing.
You know, they smile in your face, and then behind your back is where the real play's happening.
This is true.
Yeah, no, I just think it's a plus on both sides. Why? Because one, you occupy that area, so you can say it's getting out of hand here. I don't like it.
Even though crime has steadily been decreasing for like 20
Right.
years.
But you can at least say that, and 49 other states will believe you because they're not from DC. You know what I'm saying? They're like, maybe it's getting out of hand. He's doing what he's got to do. LA would be another spot that would work like that just because of all of the, the displaced population.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, just given the level of, diversity in that city between Hispanic, Black, even Asian. Like,
I mean, to be honest, that might be the test subject. Like, it's almost like you dipped your toe in the water with the ice raids, and
you saw the
I think,
response.
yeah, they were surprised at how much outside of Hispanic support there was in that.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, but they still didn't do what they were expected to do.
Right.
Let's take it a step further to see, you know what I mean?
No,
So I
completely get
feel
it.
like these are both experiments, like, and I'm sure you will see the level of concern with what states he goes for next.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think what's interesting too is Well, this is a little bit of a tangent. So I saw a reel earlier this week that was my girl Jasmine Crockett, who I fucking love. Basically flat out calling out, like, if this is really about economics, then you should be going after red states because blue states provide 90% of the economic wealth in this country. And yet red states are in power. Like, how does that make any sense if this is all supposed to be about the economy? So I don't know. Just interesting stuff going on, sir.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know either. And then I heard that one thing that the Trump agreed to pay for the troops health care and
The
shit.
Israeli troops or Israeli military's healthcare.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, we can't even like take care of our own.
Yeah, I'm telling. I mean, it's a race. It's a race at the moment.
I mean, are we already owned by Israel? Like, that's kind of what it seems like.
But see, that's the thing, though. That's what people are
like
understanding.
what is owned? Because the individual people are not.
That's
And
what I'm getting at.
push
Is you
comes to
own
shove, right?
politicians, you own
Corporations,
figureheads, right? So if you get rid of them, they own nothing else.
because there's not enough. Again, I come back to the only enemy that can really stand to the U.S. is the U.S. in an actual physical warfare.
Right. Right. And then that's the dumbest move you could have made, right? That is the dumbest fucking move you could have made. Because in the hour where you call for, martial law in certain places, the only people that will be able to enforce that is the military.
Right.
The
And it
police would never be able to enforce that. They're not tactically trained like that.
No, well, it becomes all out war with that because at the same time, the police force isn't trained in de-escalation and
Right.
subjugation. Like,
And now what you've done is you got these military motherfuckers struggling to make it. They know how rough it is for them after they get out of the military, and you're giving these motherfuckers the
right? You basically just cut 60,000 jobs from the VA health system, the Veteran Affairs health system, and then you're going to ask troops to deploy against their own people.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't doubt that some would, but most motherfuckers would be like, I can't continue being a cuck to the president. First of all, how could I don't care if I got kicked out. I'm not following rules from a pedophile. I'm not following rules from a pedophile. I feel that way right now. Like I'm not following rules from a fucking pedophile. I don't care if it's a law, I don't care if it's an order, I don't care what it is. You're a fucking pedophile. That makes me weaker than a pedophile if I listen to you.
Right, if you're cucked by a pedophile.
Like, that's weird. That's weird. I don't care who.
And his tiny dick.
Yeah, I don't care who feels a way. I really don't care who feels a way about it. That's some weird shit right there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take orders from, but what you try to do is like compartmentalize it. Like, well, I'm taking orders from my sergeant, my captain, but he's taking orders from the pedophile.
Right. And, I see all these reels on TikTok about, folks that are military or ex-military saying, we still got you and all this stuff. And, talking about you took an oath to the Constitution, not to one man. And I'm like, I still see troops on the streets in D.C. What's interesting is you see more FBI, CIA, Homeland Security than you actually see National Guard.
Right.
Because the National Guard's like, we don't get paid enough, man.
And I heard that he's putting them on 29-day orders.
Say more.
I heard that as well. with the military, if you're not out for more than 30 days, you don't get full benefits. So he calls you in for 29-day orders, fires you on day 30, and reactivates you on day 31 on another 29-day order. So he doesn't have to fulfill
how's that gonna work out?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's the dumbest. You're making the dumbest move you can at the moment, because if you lose the troops, you lose everything.
Yeah.
You lose everything if you lose the troops. You lose everything, because right now you try to silence all the whistleblowers that you can, but if you lose the troops,
You don't
there
have
are a lot
to
of
carry
them.
any of this shit out.
There are a lot of them that know the bases. There are a lot of them that know the bunkers. There are a lot of them that know where these underground entrances are. There are a lot of them that have classified information that you don't want out.
Right.
And if that information goes to the people, you can only assume it's going to look like World War Z with guns.
So what's funny, not funny, but I've seen a lot of, because I've always tried to track down these kind of accounts and follow them. I've seen a lot of anonymous chatter about they have secured what they need to secure in terms of the Epstein files, in terms of X, Y, and Z, and they're ready to release here in the next week or so.
You know what?
I mean, here's the deal. We know everybody that was involved. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen to them.
I feel like
Diddy got off. Diddy got off.
Diddy wasn't Epstein, though. Let's make no mistake of that. I don't care what he was putting in that baby oil. He wasn't Epstein, and he wasn't getting kids, like in, allegations were that there were some there, but this is taking children from essentially the country they live to a private island like that. I feel like you don't pull something like that off without internal connections.
Oh, of course not, because they're all in on it.
Right. You don't pull something like that off without internals.
Yeah, no doubt.
But what was the last thing you said before you said Diddy got off?
I said it was about anonymous.
Oh yeah, they don't do shit. They don't do shit.
They've been responsible for a couple of big just denial of service attacks, but you're right. Like,
they don't do shit. They don't do shit.
That's because most of them went and worked for the state.
Listen, them motherfuckers don't do shit.
I think that's a fair call out.
They don't. And what you talking about? Like, you're anonymous, my nigga. like you're literally anonymous. Like, that's literally who you are. What are you waiting to drop the files for?
So, question on that front, and not really about anonymous, but have you been? I know I've sent you a ton of her videos. The brunette with the glasses who does a lot of that stuff. What do you think about like the way she approaches stuff? Because she talks about it a lot in terms of resistance and what you need to do, and keeping things as decentralized and actually anonymous as possible, basically to protect yourselves against the powers that be.
Right.
I think she actually does a really good job with her content, but it's also because I'm probably her target audience, so I get that too.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I feel like it's two ends of a spectrum, right? Because all she's doing is reminding people of their constitutional rights, and that we should still be holding on to those and upholding. Anonymous, on the other hand, was supposed to be cyber fucking shit up.
Right.
And you haven't, because you did a successful block of some, that's not what we thought you were here for, sir.
Right.
You were supposed to get us names.
They were supposed to be the Ronin of the modern era, of the digital era.
I don't know that I know the reference, like the samurai. I don't know that I'm well versed enough to get this.
Fair enough.
But either way, like you haven't done anything. Like you're anonymous. That's your name. There's no reason you should be holding on to anything. It should be, we got it. Get it out there.
Yeah.
How are
I
you?
agree
We've
with that.
acquired all the information and we're holding off the bitch. I'm not sure that Trump ain't under that fucking mask at this point.
Right,
Like you just
right. His name's
stringing
already
us
been scrubbed.
along.
His name's already been scrubbed from the list.
You know, you just playing us. You're playing us the same way the politicians do.
A little bit. I agree with that statement.
So I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Mitch McConnell didn't pull up from out from under a V from Vendetta mask.
That is, I agree with you. I think that is another one where I like the concept more than the execution.
Yeah, okay, you're designed for hope. I get that, right? Like that's the design model.
That's the
that
actual
you have
design.
there. But if you were doing what you were actually doing, they would have Huey P. Newton'd you, bro.
Yeah.
They would have Black Panther'd you. Anyone associated or has any ties to them would be either jailed or killed.
Well, and that's actually, it's funny you bring that up because there was actually a big sweep of that back in the early 2010s. There was actually a fair amount of roundup of those folks.
And I didn't. You wasn't doing your job right. You're anonymous, bitch.
Right.
Be that. Be that.
Yeah.
Like you are supposed to be a cyber hacker. You don't got a VPN, bitch. You don't got a VPN.
Everything
you don't
is
change laptops
everything is traceable eventually.
Man. Not if you're a hacker. Not if you're a fucking hacker. You should be able to erase cyber footprints behind you.
Well, those are the ones we don't hear about. Those are the ones that are attacking our infrastructure right now.
which lets me know that you're either in on the game, the political game, or your design model was pitched to us in a very skewed way. But one of the two has to be true. Talking, well, we're ready to release the Epstein file. Why haven't you? What are you trying to get paid? Is that what it is?
Right. It's ransom at this point.
Yeah, are you trying to get paid? Like, what's the deal?
I hear you. I don't disagree with that. I think that the actual tactic there has nothing to do with the Epstein files, and I think we need to start doxing ICE agents and anybody else who's signing up for shit at this point.
Well, I don't know who it was, but some people were doing that.
Well, and that's why they wear masks now and they don't wear badges.
Right, and a lot of them are quitting. They said they're quitting in droves. I don't know how accurate I am, but I think that was what the attack on the Texas facility was for, to get more information on the people involved and all that. And that's how people's names were getting out.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the right approach.
I mean, I do too.
You make it uncomfortable for the people who are quote unquote just following orders.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, at what point? And I've said this before in the past. I don't remember how it was said, but at what point do we not start blaming the minions for the crimes of the king?
Right. Completely agree. I mean, olden times, that's the shit that would happen. Oh, you represent so and so.
Right. Right. Like, I don't care what you are. You could be a youth group pastor.
Right.
You carried out acts from that man? You gotta go, bruh.
And that's how we lead to the Civil War. Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, just calling it out.
I mean, the truth, the fact of the matter, the truth that nobody really wants to say, and I know that the government has this information, although they might not after what we just talked about with the Israel benefits and the 29-day orders and all that, is the people have an inevitable hold off before they can truly take action because they're waiting on the response of the military.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The people themselves don't want to have to go up against the military in the first wave of a civil war.
One of the things that they talked about when Jon Stewart had the producer or the host for the Roman Empire podcast, and he's basically done a lot of studies on like revolution and those kind of things. It's like
Mm-hmm.
revolution can come down to something as minor as the weather. Like the fact that the U.S. has been under sweltering heat for 3 months may have actually stopped something more from breaking out. Simply because like
I
people
see
aren't,
what
you
you're
know what I
saying.
mean? Like they're not willing to go and be on the streets.
And then you got
Um,
to understand that's a big fucking move, right? Like
yeah,
this isn't just some little plaything. Like this is Red Dawn essentially. The movie, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Fighting a war on your own ground, you can't go back home.
right.
Once you've made your move, there is no more home.
There's nowhere for you to go back to.
And right now we're not in a position where there's enough abandoned buildings, enough, we haven't been the war hasn't begun yet to give you shelter that you know what I'm saying? The only way it would work now while everything is still standing and pretty and good in the neighborhoods is you would have to have like an underground railroad group of people that were willing to stash you here and there, and would be willing to sacrifice their safety and security for your mission.
Right.
Will house you, will feed you until you're off to your next job or whatever. And I can't see that there being a lot of people right now that would go for that.
Yeah, what's interesting is all right, so just out of curiosity, and I'm gonna try to total these up real quick. So out of curiosity, I wanted to just pull up what are the current numbers of like the armed services. So active duty Army is 450,000. Active duty Navy is 327,000. Active duty, or not active duty, but Army National Guard is 325. Air Force is 314. Honestly, those are the motherfuckers you need to be careful of.
The Air Force?
Yeah, because they ain't in planes. They're sitting behind a console flying a drone.
All right.
176,000 for Army Reserve. 172,000 for Marine Corps. 104,000 for the Air National Guard.
So we're at like
Air
1.6.
Air Force Reserve 66,000. Navy Reserve 55, Marine Corps Reserve 33, and then my good old buddies in the Space Force about 9,000.
They fighting with props anyway, so ain't nobody worried about the Space Force.
So the problem is that you have about 2 million members of the armed services versus what's the population of the U.S.? Let's see, United States population.
Isn't it like 3 point something billion?
Yeah, something like that.
And you got to think you can't
Oh
even.
no, it's way lower than that.
Is it
342 million.
342 million?
Yep. So, I mean, that's still 342 million against 2 million.
I mean, but I don't think that it
So, can
wasn't
each
well.
one of them
It
take on
doesn't.
100 million people?
But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Out of
No,
the
it doesn't.
entire population of the country, you can assume that only 10% would be
Would
fit and
actually
ready to
stand
fight.
up. Right.
Right. So that's 300,000 there.
And it's 8.1 billion overall. That's the whole world.
Yeah, that's 300 something thousand. And even if you lost half of the military and they came onto the other side, that would be the only way that those odds even out.
Well, and that's also assuming that no one else picks that moment to start a fight with us. And that you
Right.
recall all troops to U.S. soil. And I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, that's why I say again, you kind of got to wait to see what the military's doing.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, this wouldn't be old school war anyway. It would be guerrilla warfare, as I've always said.
Absolutely.
So it's not to say that the 2 million military matter. because you shouldn't be going in a head-to-head lined up war in the first place. It should just be black missions, blow up this facility, do
Black
this
site,
here,
yeah.
shit like that. But either way, you got to hope that a portion of the armed services fight with the people instead of the military for it to work.
Because I mean, otherwise, to your point, like, what are they fighting for?
And then my whole thing is, I could only assume that the United States planned for some of their armed forces to turn, heel in their eyes. And that's why they're going more towards the private
Yeah,
contractors now
yeah.
anyway.
That doesn't account for any private. To your point, like
Right.
private paramilitary groups.
Because it's not about
And
my
those motherfuckers are
morals, it's
definitely
about my
just out there for
money.
the money, right?
Right. So what are you paying my crew? And we may be able to do this for you.
Yeah.
And the bitter irony of that is that they have the most training in the type of war that would be going down.
The
Because you're used to
paramilitary
going
groups.
to other countries, I can't be seen, I can't be, they catch me, I'm done for.
Yeah.
So that's the exact kind of person that you wouldn't want to see on the opposite side of your guerrilla warfare battle, because you already are trained in sabotage, espionage, all that. So if you are a true, strategist in that, then they already know all the places that the people would need to hit in order to make the playing
Yeah.
field level. We'll meet you there. We'll meet you there. We know where you're going.
Right. It's fair.
And we probably know how you're going to do it, because this is how I would do it.
Yeah.
So again, you kind of gotta, you're at the whim of the military. That's why until the majority of them wake up and understand that you're being cucked by a pedophile. And don't get me wrong, I understand everybody's scared of consequence. So
Well, and
die
that's
about
why
it. You know what I'm saying? Die about it then. Like, I'm not going to jail. You're not going to torture me in a basement room so let's die about it. I don't care if I don't have a weapon. I'm going for one. I promise you that. You better
suicide by cop, right?
Right, you better make sure that motherfucker buttoned up tight, because I didn't plan on going. I'm telling you that right now.
There's a great episode of The Americans where a former contact of theirs is an ex Panther civil rights activist, and they have to basically burn him, and he understands and accepts that, and he's like, don't kill me in a back alley, let me go out my own way. And he just goes out and starts shooting cops. And he takes at least 3 or 4 of them with him, so that's a hell of a way to go.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to get to a point where everybody feels that way.
Right.
Because then it could be anyone.
Well, and I wonder if that's, and I brought up, and I wish I could remember her name, and unfortunately I don't have my phone with me to give her due credit. Like, she's out there talking about the fact that there have been, I think it's more than 12 billionaires that have died here in the last 90 days. Mm-hmm. And most of them were old, and I'm sure that became family money, and I'm sure somebody else in their family is now a billionaire. However, I think that that's the interesting piece, is that with the amount of, I'll call it, violence on the ultra wealthy that is happening right now, are some of them waking up and being like, oh shit, maybe we did go too far? And who's going to be the first? Who's going to be the first in that group to kind of step up and say, you know what, we did too much, our bad, and try to save face and keep power by seeming to acquiesce.
Warren Buffett does that every 5 years. I don't know if that's for
fair.
I don't know if that's for the optics of it, or he knows something about Wall Street that he's like, it's going to roll back in my favor, and
Yep.
But either way it goes, the motherfucker was giving you the model,
right.
He was giving you the model on how, he did. And even to this day, people don't lump him up with them.
That's fair.
which is odd to me, right? Because you were like the godfather of all this shit, my G. We
Well,
just forgot about all that.
and that's one of the things, like coming out of the Great Depression and in the mid 1900s, like we had tax rates close to 90% on people making that kind of wealth, and it was the most prosperous. Like that's make America great again. Is tax the
Right.
rich 90%.
Right.
This
I
goes
mean, that's
back to
like,
our idea of you worth more than $500 million. Tell us why we shouldn't fuck you up.
yeah. Campaign why you should keep that, bruh. Campaign why you should keep that.
Same
But
thing
then
with
we're right. I
corporations
mean,
making profits over $1 billion. Like
we're right
campaign why
back
you
in the
should keep it.
same boat because even if, like, okay, so say I was a billionaire and you did have the 500 million law in place, I think I should keep it all. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Right.
I'm like. I think I should keep it all. And if I feel like you're that much of a threat to me, I'll go as far as to spend that extra 500 million on security and
Yeah.
services, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like either way it goes, you end up in the same boat.
But then you have to employ more people. So there's still more people that end up with wealth at that point.
That's not, that's not a negative. You know, it's
That was
not a
the
net
same thing. That was
negative.
the same thing with our taxes on corporate profits thing. Like if you spend that on incremental, I mean, hopefully pay for your workers, but if those incremental pay for your workers are like security or whatever, fine, at least you're spending it on people that then have the ability to make money themselves.
Right.
And
Like if you gonna give
it's still a redistribution of wealth.
right, like if you gonna give corporations and CEOs and people like that tax breaks, you should do it based on percentages, right?
Yep.
And if you've increased 30% of your company's wages over then that might qualify you for an extra, 5% cut from what
Well, and I think it goes back to the other one of no corporation should the CEO be making 10 times more than the lowest paid employee. Period.
that's
Point
agreed, but
blank.
it's hard to implement that, right? Because that's private ownership.
Well, if it's privately owned, but you've got a ton of publicly owned companies.
That's where it definitely should be a thing. But
Like if you're traded on the or New York Stock Exchange, that should be
right,
a mandate for being able to offer an IPO.
if they got you on the Dow Jones, motherfucker.
Right. If you are a Fortune 500 company, this rule applies to you. And then guess what? You see less slime bag people making it to the top in those kind of companies.
I mean, but that's no different than politicians.
Agreed. That's why we shouldn't allow them to trade stocks. We should cap their earnings. Like, that's part of the deal. And if you're in it for the money, we're going to make it not worth it for you to be in it anymore.
Like athletes can't bet.
Right. Oh, but we allow senators to bet on stocks. And I tell you what, I cleared my stock portfolio because I think we're heading into a recession right now.
That's because it's a minority thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. It's a minority thing. I guarantee you, find me an all-white sport. Like cricket or something.
Cricket isn't all white. There's a lot of brown people that play cricket.
Are that? Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, because I think India was the world champs the other right. But okay, so that's why that doesn't work either. What is an all-white sport?
Hockey.
Hockey's not. They even got it's a few Hispanics and blacks in there.
Yeah, there's very few.
They're all,
that's majority.
They're all always defensemen though.
It's majority white folks.
They're all always defensemen is the thing. But I'm saying though, like
bowling.
Not bowling wouldn't work either. You find me a all white sport.
Have Venus and Serena retired? Because I'll go tennis.
No, because you got Coco what's her name? And
you're right.
Yeah, it's hella other. Maybe like a cornhole or something like that. I guarantee you they can bet on themselves is what I'm saying. If it's all white, they like, yeah, let them make a little extra money off of the shit that they do, you
Right.
know. But if it's a minority involved, let a basketball player get caught on FanDuel, and you would think this motherfucker was fighting dogs like Vic.
Fair point. Fair point. Oh man,
That's a joke, but there's truth in it.
there always is. That's the funniest stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's truth in it. That's why no black sports do they let you fight, but you can fight in hockey.
Right.
Oh, you can fight on the ice with knives strapped to the bottom of your feet. But us with these tennis shoes on a basketball court can't get the squeaking, or it's a big fucking thing, and you might get banned from the league.
Oh man,
That shit crazy. I'm trying to tell you.
all right,
That
dude.
and then that's why do they got cornhole on FanDuel?
Probably not.
I haven't seen it. You can bet on everything now. You can bet on.
I mean, Polymarket. You can bet on everything. Everything outside
You
of
can
sports.
bet on presidents, weather, what color dildo they throwing on a WNBA court. You can bet on everything, but you ain't seen cornhole on motherfucking FanDuel. Because they don't release those bets to the public. Those are only for other cornhole players.
You have to be
So
in
I
person
tell
to make
you,
those bets.
you know,
There's too many
they
variables in cornhole. What kind of board are we using? What's the angle? What's the slippage on the
right,
board?
motherfuckers is spraying pink hairspray on one of the
So that it hits, it
boards.
doesn't slide.
It slides all over the motherfucker.
They lubricated those boards.
Isn't that some shit? Hairspray to y'all equals hold.
Right.
Hairspray to us equals grease, sheen, shine.
That's true. It's true. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
This
obviously
conspiracy goes deep. How deep does this go? You just pulling out clown handkerchiefs in different colors. Oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah, you know I don't got nothing. I just be talking shit.
I appreciate it because we've done an hour of just talking shit, and that's about all I got in me tonight, dude.
I'm not mad at you.
Especially since I have to be up at 7 to go to this game.
Yeah, that's exactly when I set my alarm too. I need to cut my hair, but I don't know if I feel like waking up that early to do it.
I hear you. All right,
We'll
you got
see.
anything to take us out?
You know what? Love everybody, all that. Keep practicing. But no buts. No buts. Y'all know what it is. I guess they'll know it when they see it.
And as far as I go, I'm just going to sit it around and wait and see what the military does. Do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell an enemy, tell them to troll. And we'll see. There might be a couple of clip outs from this one. We'll see how
shit, he trying to get me in trouble. This nigga gonna have to put entertainment purposes only in the title. Right. In the title, so they know what the deal is. Shit, but hey,
either that or we'll get banned, which is fine too.
Either way,
all of that, peace out, fools.